You want freedom. You may vocally fight, I want freedom. Or you may do some things which will help the freedom. See, I recall, Chanakya's time, Chandragupta's time. Even their own son used to be prosecuted and they never used to bother. I am an ardent admirer of Lord Basavanna. Work is worship. Be truthful. Don't tell a lie. Don't steal. If any person likes to eat without working, I say it is nothing but stealing. Women and men must be equally balanced. They have a responsibility toward the society, toward the family, toward the children. I don't think that real justice is there in the society. Justice is there for those who can afford.
Justice means nothing if it is not equal for everyone. In this episode of Expressions, we speak to senior lawyer and women's rights advocate Pramila Nesargi about her extraordinary journey challenging the legal system, women's rights, judicial accountability, and the question she believes India must confront.
Hi, welcome to Expressions. I'm Neha. Today I'm joined by someone who's been in the field of law, and let's get to know about her journey and let's get to know her. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. So you once sued your own teacher while you were still a student. Walk me back into that classroom as to what happened the next morning. What did he say to you?
No, what happened was I did not fight against the teacher. I fight against the examiner. What happened was I was taking LLM examination. Then I came to know the examiner who had set the paper was only an LLB.
Okay.
So I said, how he can be my examiner? I said, you can't test my papers. Then I filed a writ petition in the High Court. Venkatrangangar was the then leading advocate. He was my advocate. The matter came up before Justice Somnath Iyer. He said, what's the grievance of your client? No, my lord, that he is only an LLB, he can't set his paper. I say, then the immediate comment by the judge was, oh, your client is only an LLG. He meant lovely little girl. I was taken aback. Just then I had entered the profession. But I lost the writ petition on the ground. The rules were not set. There was no rule who has to be the examiner. So the court said, in the absence of the rules, I can't allow your writ petition. And you'll be happy to know. And I was the only one to get through the exam.
Very good, ma'am.
I lost the writ, but I was the only one to get through.
Brilliant.
That's how it happened.
Yes, very
That
interesting.
was not the only one, When I entered my profession, my senior asked me, that was the first day of my profession. He asked me to go and file a wakalat in an arbitration case. I said, all right, I was just new. I went. He was the leading personality of Bangalore who was the arbitrator. So I went and filed. The case was called, I filed. He thought I'm a young girl. He just threw the paper. He didn't take the wakalat. I had just studied law of torts. Then it occurred to me how he can throw. It amounted to violation of tort. So straight from that, I went to the magistrate's court. And I filed a case against the arbitrator. It amounted to tort. Next day, it was all in the papers that a leading person has been prosecuted. Justice Hombay Gowda was the Chief Justice. He sent word to me. It appears they were all good friends. He asked me, what's the grievance? No, how can he throw my paper, my lord? I said, he can't. So, I will ask him to apologize. I will see that he won't. If he apologizes, will you withdraw the case? I said, let him first apologize, then I will see. Then Justice Hombay Gowda called him to his chambers and then he apologized for the behavior. Then I said, I'll agree to withdraw. Then Justice Hombay Gowda said, that was first day of my profession. He said, don't like to have this set of publicity you're an youngster, you are coming up, do well. That's how he said, unnecessary publicity, don't go for. That's how I started the profession.
More power to you, ma'am. So you spent your life fighting for women's right to work, and then you married a judge, and a court ruled that you could no longer practice law. So the woman who fought to free other women was stopped because of her own marriage. What did that do to you?
See, what has marriage to do?
Yeah.
They are sitting there as judges,
Uh,
right?
uh,
They do their duty. See, I recall, Chanakya's time, Chandragupta's time. Even their own son used to be prosecuted and they never used to bother. What they used to say is the law. Who is before them, they were not doing. Here was a judge, he said, your husband is a judge, how you can practice? I said, I am not practicing before my husband, I am before you. So he said, no, you can't practice. I said, all right, you pass any order. Then I took up the matter to Supreme Court. I challenged that order. I said, how he can... Then it so happened, many judges, their family members, brothers, sons were practicing in various high courts. I narrated all the instances. Only when it comes to me, they say they can't practice. Then the answer given, no, she is a very prominent lady lawyer. So we do not want her to practice. As the prominence comes in the way, because I am a lady, then the Supreme Court issued notices to all the courts in India, asked them what's your opinion and all that. That's how it went on. Then I said I went on practicing both in High Court and almost all courts. I appeared in Delhi, I appeared in Madras, I appeared in Bombay, and also in Supreme Court. That's how the profession. I've been fighting. I said, what makes the difference?
yes.
If I'm a lady, if I happen to be a wife, I should not practice.
That is not fair.
Although they can practice, their sons can practice. Prominent lady, so I should. That was the only allegation. I was a youngster, only because of the previous cases, I had filed against Arbitrator and all that. They were afraid. They never wanted me to practice. When I started practice, there were hardly few ladies, 3 or 4. So, when I entered the Bar Association, all men advocates looking at me, staring at me. I never bothered. I said, no, I appear. That's how I started my profession.
You mentioned Chanakya Niti.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you've learned from that?
For my interest is to study, read. Every day I have to read a book. Chanakya and Chandragupta, I was very fond of. Why I tell you why. Chanakya used to say, even against the judges, their judges, you must have a vigilance. He said, judges are also accountable. See, in our, even now, I'm really bitter about it. All are accountable. Legislatures accountable, bureaucrats are accountable, everyone is accountable, executives, everyone, but not the judges. As though they come from heaven and you can't question them. See, in Western countries, they have a commission, judicial commission. There, if a judge malpractices, misbehaves, they can go and give a complaint. Now, in our country, we don't have a mechanism. If a judge misbehaves, if he talks badly, and if we come to know that he is biased, we don't have a forum. Only thing we have in our constitution, you can impeach a judge on the ground of corruption. How can we impeach? Two-thirds majority must be there. How can an ordinary citizen approach the parliament members to impeach? It can't be done. So we wanted to have a judicial commission, a mechanism. We have in Western countries. All over the world we have, except in India. In India, the judiciary, for the reasons best known, they do not want this legislation to come. It's high time. I demand and command, and I say they are not exceptions, and there must be a commission where either a citizen or an advocate can complain. That's my personal feeling.
Your mother fought the British.
Yes.
You fought the system from within. So, whose battle was harder?
No, and see, at that time, every one of us, we wanted freedom. We never wanted the British people to rule India. So we were brought up in that atmosphere. Not only my mother, she was an active member in the Congress, in my local authority. My father was also involved in it. Both parents were for the freedom. And on one occasion, it so happened that there was a shoot at sight. At that fight, my father escaped by an inch, otherwise he would have lost. So this is the fight which is going on. Each one will have their own way of fighting. You want freedom. You may vocally fight, I want freedom. Or you may do some things which will help the freedom. My mother was doing in her own way and I was doing in my own way. I used to be vocal and she used to be inside. But both were equal. I don't condemn and say hers was great and mine was great. But we have been taught by our parents, good foundation given. They said, nation is great. You must get the freedom. That was running in my mind. I was admiring my mother and I was admiring my father and I was admiring all those who are fighting in Karnataka, like Mr. K.T. Bhashyam, Karnar Sadashivarao, Gangadhar Deshpande. I used to see, I used to admire them from long, but though I had not seen them. So I said, I should also fight. I must contribute, even little, whatever it could be, I was contributing.
Well done, ma'am. So everyone talks about your many firsts, but no one asks what they cost. What did being the first take away from you that is not mentioned in your Wikipedia page?
I never wanted to know whether I am the first or not. What was before me, do your duty. I am an ardent admirer of Lord Basavanna. Work is worship. Be truthful. Don't tell a lie. Don't steal. The fundamentals which I thought. That was in my mind. So I was not thinking whether I am the first. I have not, no, people say that my name is there in the Wikipedia. I have not seen. I said it may be that I'm not. I said I must do my duty. So that's how I've been brought. So I want every citizen of this country must work for his food. If any person eats, likes to eat without working, I say it is nothing but stealing. My feeling is that work must be there. I am very disappointed because even the Supreme Court is not taking up the cases. Freebies. Free, every lady is asked, come take 2,000. What is this? Making our lady beggars? I shudder to think of it. Country is great. Every pie given by a citizen must be utilized for the welfare of the country, not for giving free dispersals. I do not know. The legislature is keeping quiet, people are keeping quiet, citizens are keeping quiet, even the judges are keeping quiet, though the matter is challenged in the Supreme Court, thrice it was being argued, they don't have time to dispose of those cases. Every state is indulging in this.
Yes, it is.
Without any exception. Every political party is using it. Why? As though it is there. It is not, because it's not their money, somebody else's money. Take it and then distribute it for the sake of having their own power. This must be eradicated. I feel it is against the Constitution. My feeling.
Yes.
Against the fundamentals of even the basic rights of a human being.
Absolutely.
It must be eradicated.
Yes, it makes the other person feel very incompetent and, So recently I read an article somewhere. In America, a sexual misconduct allegation almost ended a politician's career, while it barely affected in others. So it clearly all depends on power and political backing. You chaired the Women's Commission, and I've seen similar situations in India. So when a powerful man is accused, does the law determine its fate or does his influence?
Law is there in the books. It is there to give punishment to those who have not for the haves. The procedure delays. People in power help them. Procedure irregularity will be done, come what may. Either it may be the police officer in investigation or a medical officer in giving the certificates or the other persons who are witnesses. All these people are bought. That's how it's happening. You will be, you see, I'll give an example. In election law, big people come, they find some place or to do that. It will not happen for the others. This is how, madam, law is there in the statute book. Law is there good for people. But when implementing it comes, whether it is the legislature, whether it's the executive or whether it's the judiciary, it sees something different. They won't give the same law to everyone.
But that's very unfair.
I've been fighting.
Yes. You defended women for 60 years. Looking back, where do you think the women's movement would have gone wrong?
Madam, women of this, I told you, these freebies,
Yes.
give free money, they sit at home and enjoy.
Yes.
They don't have to work.
Hmm.
See, women must feel proud that she's a woman. I always feel that I'm superior to man. Women, you know why? We are creative. Men are not creative. We create a baby, carve the baby. We give birth. Can any man in the world give birth? Impossible. They can do anything, but they can't give birth. So who is great? A person who creates, who gives birth is greater. So I always feel women must feel that they are superior to men and they must pay their duty. They have their own dharma. Men, that they are not feeling now. They feel easy money. Now, so I don't say social media to be blamed or not, but anyway, now even cooking, they want in 2 minutes. Education, 2 minutes. Computer, counting. Now AI will come, then nothing will go there. So we are living in this world. That's why I feel that women are not understanding their own strength. They are their own strength, what they have, they are not
Very well said.
looking into it. Why you may tell me another thing, you know, not only she gives birth, she takes care of the child. Who takes care of the child? So 25% women, 25% children. So we are more superior. Even though in population we are 50%, children includes 25%, that means we are 75%. We are. But we see the law, even when a delivery ward, men want to make the law. It's such a sorry state of affairs. Even concerning women, what business they have? But no, they have to make the law. This is why I say women must realize and they must fight and they must feel that we are superior and we can guide them, and it is in us to guide the men also in the society, how they have to do. They should not be. That's why I feel women must, they must take care of their own body. You can't spoil. Men drink, so I also drink. They take bribery, so I want my husband to bring bribery. No, you must be in a position to guide them. You shall not do that. That is the position we must acquire. That's why I feel even now they are not. Fighting is going on. Women were not studying early. Later they began studying. Now then they said, we want to earn. All right, you are earning. Now the time has come. What is there? I earn my bread. You sweep. Yeah, I had one case, old woman, but she had come to me for, she said, why, what madam? Then he said, he took money for me from my father, a dowry. All right, madam, you are already married, live happily. Yes, he has taken dowry, so he must obey me. What do you want? He must sweep, he must cook. Has he not taken money, madam? My father, this is the attitude. Now the women are, I want this to go. Women and men must be equally balanced. They have a responsibility toward the society, towards the family, towards the children. If it is not balanced, then it will.
Family suffers. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Every time a horrific crime against a woman happens, we demand a stricter law, yet these crimes continue. After decades of fighting for women, where do you think India is still failing?
Madam, rape happens every day at home. It's not marital rape happening. Whether she is suffering from height, fever, unwell, man does not bother. Now the courts have also said, you have to matrimonial, you have to obey rights. All right. Am I not a human being? Have I no right? Should I not have a right to when to have a child? How many children I must have? How to bring up? Don't I have a right? No, you are married. So you have, allow me to have sex as and when I like it. This is how the society is going, madam. When the rape is happening at home only, what do you feel about the rape outside? After all, the Of course, when our Justice Malimath used to say about the prostitution, then he used to say, Madam, it's only a byproduct of marriage. That's how he was telling. Now also, I yet to come across a man not having an eye on other woman, may not be physically, at least in mind. That is not happening. Their mind is always wavering. It happens. Not that only men are doing. I am not blaming only them. Women are also doing. I'll give an example. A lady had come to me, give me divorce, get me. All right. Madam, I got first marriage. I got so much money. Okay, all right, madam. Second marriage, I got a house, madam, in Saraswati Nagar. Okay, this is the third marriage, she had come for divorce. I said, so what? How much money you are going to get me in this third marriage? I said, it depends upon his income. And whatever evidence that you are giving will depend. It did not stop there. All right. Then I said, Madam, I got one more question. Yes, what is it? She said, Madam, you get so big clients to your office. After getting a divorce, can you get a good man to marry?
My God.
Madam, I am telling you, this is our society. You will be shocked.
Yes.
But society is running, it must be. Whether it's rape or any other crime or molestation or any of these things, it has to be done. I always feel the persons who are ruling must be role models. They should have one wife, at least like they talk about Ramchandra, Rama. He had only Sita. But here we do not know how many Sitas they have. I want them, if any person is found to have more than one affair, apart from wife, I feel that he is not deserving to be a ruler.
Leader, yes, ma'am.
It must be done, madam.
You demanded a uniform civil code when very few were listening. Today, several states have taken steps towards implementing one. At 88, do you feel vindicated, or are you concerned about how it is being pursued?
Madam, not implemented at all. See, it is not only the 3 states. The first, Goa had the civil code, uniform civil code. I had the occasion to appear in Goa in one case, and I am aware of it. There they had. Then why not for the others? Because when assembly debates were going on, constitution assembly debates, when people thought of having a uniform civil code, can you believe the Mohammedans, they wanted uniform civil code at that time, and Hindus opposed. No, sir, it should not be, and all that in the debates. But of course, now it has come. Now some people want Hindu code, but what I am worried is, unless the uniform civil code is brought into and implemented in its strict sense, it is the women of Mohammedan community who are the aggrieved persons. I get so many clients, lady clients, aggrieved by this. They have no other goal. And they are very stricter, they obey Quran. They have a right to obey their religion, and they are bound to obey that. And they are not bothered about it. You have the talaq, they don't have the money.
Yeah.
One lady came to me when I was sitting, 4 children, young children. She was hardly 20 years, 4 children. They were coming in a rickshaw. They had a fight in the rickshaw. Husband said, talaq, talaq, talaq 3 times. So the rickshaw was stopped. The children, and they got down. She came running to me. Madam, what I should do? I said, all right, why you go? Why do you want to? Why don't you go home? She said, no, madam, my religion does not permit. I don't want to go home. Then what do you want to do? I got my 4 children. I do not know where to go. I am not employed. Get me something where I can live. I said, I asked her to advise her to go to some places and all that. This is how they are suffering. Their law, unless this law is brought about, umpteen thousands of women are suffering. We don't see the Hindu ladies. I only see when uniform civil code comes, I see before him the women who are there, who have been the victims, who are suffering, madam. I can't see. I've seen umpteen ladies who are fighting. So once what happened, some Maulvi used to come to Bangalore to hear the oaths of this all the companies. Can you believe the Mohammedan ladies came to me? Madam, we can't go and talk to the Maulvis. He is coming to Kuvempu Vihar in Bangalore. You please come and talk on our behalf. I went to represent the Mohammedan women, and they wanted the question that uniform civil code must come and talaq must not be there. All those things. I put the question. They said they believe in all the Quran. So this is how it's going on. We are fighting for the uniform civil code, not only for the benefit of our country, but to the welfare of the thousands and thousands of women in this country who belong to the minority community. I only wish a day will come and I can save all those ladies and I can see their smile in their faces.
You've been involved in public life for nearly 5 decades. Has politics become more diverse, or has social media simply made those divisions more visible?
Social media has its own responsibility and duties. They must see before they broadcast whether they'll have an impact on the society or not. They must have a due diligence done before the broadcasting. And if they don't do it, and if they go on broadcasting, it is going to have an impact, madam. People, that's the reason thousands of divorces. That's the reason why have the people flirt, they run away, crimes are increasing only because of this. I somehow feel that social media must take a major role. Because people see the social media. They must tell what is good, what is bad, whether it is not morally, I am not telling you. Legally, what is there, what is the good for them to survive in this society. Otherwise, you can't do that, madam. I'm very unhappy with many of the things which is going on. I've been to Germany. There, the newspapers also, what we see is, every day molestation, rape, conviction, dacoity, that will find a place. In Germany, when I've been, not a single incident of that will reported. Even in the first page newspaper, the progress of the country, the investment done for the progress of the country, the development of the country, which department, what is going on, that is given priority. I only wish they do it here. In our India also, you must change your habits. Leave that thing for them personally. Don't do that. Don't go on broadcasting and repeating one media competing with the other. I am interviewing. No, let it not be done, madam. I somehow feel
Yes.
you owe a duty.
So you've fought institutions for over 60 years. In India, how much injustice survives simply because it is hidden? And what's inside our black box?
Injustice, you mean?
Yes.
Is there any, I will put a question, is there any justice? Think about the injustice will come later. Can you get justice? I tell you, for example, now the Arbitration Act has come. I'm just giving you. In the Arbitration Act, it has become a heaven for the retired judges. Immediately after retirement, they will go and work as an arbitrator. You see, when you got some person come to me and said, Madam, so-and-so owes me money, then the court says you have to pay the court fee. And if he is a person, he is not in a position to pay. We have a provision in the Civil Procedure Code where you can fight the case an indigent person, that we can make an application, I can't afford to court fee. But look at the irony. In arbitration cases, no provision for any person to fight the case without the court fee or the arbitration fees. Their fees exorbitantly. 4 months. After 4 months again, additional fee to be paid. Where can they pay? Can you say that there is justice here? Can you say, are the society thinking of it? Or the judiciary thinking of it? Or the lawyer community thinking of it? Or the other people thinking? No. Everyone wants to make money. I have retired. Oh, where should I go? I will become an arbitrator. I get money. 4 to 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 10 lakhs. The money they get. This is not the justice. This is not where we can think of justice. As I told you, even in the Supreme Court, you see every day, a politician's case, if you move, next day it will be taken up. What we see, any case of the part. But if it's a poor person, his case is there for the past so many years, no time. adjourned, no time. So also in our high courts, and similar is the case. So you can't. I don't think that real justice is there in the society. Justice is there for those who can afford. Justice is not there for poor persons. My experience, what I have seen, I don't see that they have to search for justice. Of course, exceptions are there. I don't say exceptions are not there. Exceptions are there and they get it. No, I feel there is no justice, madam.
So, justice delayed is justice denied. It's one of the oldest principles of law. Yet, many cases remain pending. If you could change just one thing about the judicial system tomorrow morning, what would it be?
No, justice delay, that's a fact. One case I want to tell you. I was a member of the legislative committee and I used to get the cases also there. A law had been made that for a pregnant woman, amount would be given by the government. So I was so happy, at least poor ladies would be given. You know what? A pregnant lady goes and gives an application. Then they say, go and get a certificate from a doctor that you are pregnant. Okay? By the time she goes to doctor, she has to spend there also, she has to get by the time she could get the certificate, she would have delivered the baby. So they say, madam, money cannot be given after delivery. This is how the laws are. Tell me what you expect from this. With my own experience, I have seen and all that. This is how law is there for namesake. Law is there to publicity. Law is there to get votes. Law is there to have the power. And judges are there to implement the law as they are. By the time they implement, the very purpose would have been frustrated. Then they will say it has become infructuous, dismissed. Umpteen cases I can give you. I feel sorry for them.
Yes, even I feel sorry. If Parliament handed you a blank sheet of paper and said, rewrite one law for modern India, which law would you choose and why?
Prohibition. Implement prohibition throughout the country. That is the and remove freebies.
I can clearly see you're very, very strongly opposing that. You're 88, and if you could walk into a courtroom one last time and argue one final case against anyone, which case would it be and why?
No, any case, all cases are same. When you say about the court, I was sitting in a court hall. One young lady was arguing a matter about a matrimonial case. The judge said, you are married or unmarried? She said, I am unmarried. So he said, you have no experience. You can't argue this case. Go and get your senior. My blood began to boil, I wanted to know, judges decide the criminal cases, murder case and all that. If you say you must have experience, so judges must also have the experience of murder for dealing with a murder case.
Absolutely.
This is so, of course, we fought and then we met the chief justice and got it removed. That's a different thing. How the things happen.
Yeah.
The judges are there if they act according to law without any bias, irrespective of the status of the parties and the advocates. That's the greatest thing that they can do and service to the country.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for bringing so much power to our podcast and joining us today.
Thank you.
Today, we learned that real change begins with the courage to question and speak up. If this episode moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the New Indian Express. Thank you for watching Expressions. We see you next time.